जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गंधारी के गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शतर शत शिशुमार भक्त विरांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शतर शत शिशुमार भक्त विरांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शतर शत शिशुमार भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट महाभागवत शिल गोक्षरस बाबाजी महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट शिल सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम शिल जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानु गौरिया गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम जय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंद की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि वो। जय श्री ब्रह्मा संहिता की जय। जय श्री पितामह ब्रह्मा जी की जय। Um, all right. So there's nobody here on Zoom and nobody on Facebook or YouTube. But anyhow, I guess I'll just record this for anybody watching in the future. Um, so let me just explain this program a little bit for anybody who might be watching in the future. Um, so right now I am, as you probably know, I'm working on the Shri Gaudiya Gitigucha. And in the current Gaudiya Gitigucha, I just took the translations from the English edition of Śrī Brahma-saṁhitā, published by Gaudiya Vedanta Publications. And I just took the verse and translation from that and pasted it into the book. And I never looked through it. And just now I was trying to get the Krishna chapter ready, and I put everything, all the ashtakams in their place, in the right order. And then I thought, maybe I'm just gonna check the Brahma Samhita verses. Well, it's called Govinda Stotram, and it's verses beginning from, I think, 29, all the verses that end with Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Pajami. So we're including all those verses in the Gaudiya Gitigucha. When I checked the translation of the first verse, I compared it to the Bengali translation and to the Hindi translation in the Gaudiya Gitigucha, Hindi Gaudiya Gitigucha, then I noticed that they were very different, that the English translation of that book was very different. And also I noticed that the order of in this current Gaudiya Gitigucha, we tried to translate everything in a very simple way, as much as possible, trying to follow the same word order so that with the translation, you could be able to you could connect words in the translation to the Sanskrit. And so if there is anything extra that's not explicitly mentioned in the Sanskrit, then we put it in square brackets so that you don't get confused trying to, wait, where is that word in the Sanskrit? Um, and yeah, as I said, we tried to keep the same word order. So the first line of a verse most of the time will be the first sentence in the translation, and the second line in the verse will be the second sentence, like that. Um, Oh, there's somebody here. Haribo Yugal Kishore Kishore Didi. Right. So I'm just explaining what we're doing right now. So the translations in the current English Brahma Samhita is I'm not saying that they're not a good translation or accurate translation, but it's not the style that we've been using, like not the style that we've been translating everything else in. Like just so simple and straightforward. And I wasn't able to figure out some things with the current translation in the Korigitigucha. So this is all of a sudden another big projects that, I mean, like a big thing that I all of a sudden need to do when I already have way too many things to do with the songbook. Um, like I think there are 28 verses that I have to go through and check, and my plate is already way too full. So when this happens, when I get a bit overwhelmed, then what I usually do is I get very distracted. Like I'll try to escape reality by going to YouTube or something like that. And I started doing that again today. And I thought, what would really help me is if I could just try to figure it out live online with you, just and try to explain each word, and then that's a really fast way for me to understand it myself. When I just try to look at it on my own, I sometimes just I'm not able to focus very well. And I don't know, like I've done this now with the Swanyam Dashakam. I've tried to explain the meaning of all the words before I understood it. And that really helped me just focus really deeply. And it's helpful actually when you have to explain something, as explain a verse, even if you don't know it. It's a really uh, it's a yeah, really effective way of learning things. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. So I want to try I want to try to go through 5 verses at a time. We'll see how long that takes though. I think I'll go on for let's try to finish in half an hour. I'll set a timer. Or maybe 45 minutes. Let's see if we could get it done in 45 minutes. I'm going to set a timer for 45 minutes. Maybe we'll get it done sooner. Who knows? Okay. So, let's begin. I don't know Sanskrit. So, the only thing I can do is compare translations from Hindi and Bengali, and also other English translations. So that's what we're doing here now. Um, Basically, what this program is like I'm working on the Gaudiya Giti Kucha in real time. So you're just kind of joining me in my in this seva. Okay. So the first verse, maybe would yeah, okay, let's just go through verse by verse. We'll recite the verse and then I'll try to explain the meaning of the words. And just so you see, look, I'm gonna show it without track changes. Um, look, that's how much I changed the first translation. Yeah. So all of them are kind of, and I only actually got through the first two, I think. Oh, I no, I started with the third one, but I didn't finish this third one. Yeah. Okay. So let me turn off. I'll just make it simple markup. There. Okay. So the meter of these verses, beginning from verse 29 of Brahma Samhita, is in the Vasant Tilaka meter. Same meter as Lalitashtakam. What's another common thing in that? Anyways, so it's na 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 na. That's the meter. Na 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 na. So let's recite it together. Chintamani prakarasarmasu kalpavriksha lakshavriteshu surabhir abhipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra shata sambrahma sevyamanam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Okay, and if there's anybody watching this who knows some Sanskrit and they see that I'm getting something wrong, it would be very helpful if you let me know in the chat or send me a message, and then you'll be directly helping with the Gaudiya Giti Gucha. That would be, yeah. I'll even put your name in the songbook. So okay. Um, Chintamani Prakarasar Masu Kalpa Vriksha. So the subject of this verse is Govindam, Shri Govinda. So it says within Sarmasu. Sarmasu, the suffix here, the vibhakti is it's plural and it's locative, like it means within. So within Sarma. Sarma, I looked it up. In the Bengali, Sarma is translated as Griha, Griha Sumuhe. So within houses, or within rooms, or within, I don't know, dwellings. The Hindi translates it as, let's see, also, what does it say? I have a couple translations here. In this translation, what does it say? Chintamani samuhe ke dwara nirmit bhavano mein. So also same as the Bengali. So within, I guess we could say, now abode sounds like, I'll say dwellings. Within dwellings made of Chintamani gems. And we know Chintamani means like a thought stone. It fulfills, it's wish fulfilling gem. That's what you say. Maybe we should write wish fulfilling gems. Anyways, um, and then so who's in Govinda? Within dwellings made of Chintamani gems, which are Kalpa, Vriksha, Lakshavriteshu, which are Avrita means surrounded, and this is also within, and it's plural. So, um, oh God, sorry. But it's all connected. It's all a samas. It's all like one thing. See, it's connected with hyphens. So within or which is surrounded by laksha. Laksha means lack, like millions, millions of kalpa vriksha. Kalpa vriksha means wish fulfilling trees. Kalpa vriksha trees. And actually, it's not adorned. See, avrita means in the Bengali they write pariveshtita. Pariveshtita means like enclosed or surrounded or so maybe let's say surrounded. Surrounded by millions of wish-fulfilling trees. So kalpa vriksha lakshavriteshu. He Sri Govinda, he abhipalayantam. He He palayanta means to tend or to nurture, to care for. He tends, and abhi, I think the prefix abhi means, it says in the Bengali, it says sarvato bhave. Um, in the Hindi, what does it say? In the Hindi, it says sneha purvak sarvato bhavase. So also, yeah, sarvato bhavase means like in all ways. That's why I was thinking maybe tends to all the needs of. I don't know. That's just my guess. But are in this translation, where does it say? Abhipalayantam. Uh, yeah. Okay, anyhow. Um, or we could just say nicely. He very nicely, thoroughly, nicely tends the surabhi, the surabhi cows. And in all the translations, they say kamadenu, so wish-fulfilling cows. But literally, it just says surabhi. But yeah, surabhi is a very special cow, wish-fulfilling cow, kamadenu. And then that Govinda. So let's just go over this. That Govinda, he is within a dwelling made of chintamani gems, dwellings made of chintamani gems. He is surrounded by millions of wish-fulfilling trees. Kalpa vriksha laksha avriteshu. And abhipalayantam. And he carefully, he very nicely, or he attends to, in all ways, he tends to the surabhis, to the wish-fulfilling cows. And he is sevyamanam. He is nice, he is served. Some Brahma with great honor, with great respect, affectionately by Shata, by Shata means 100, but Sahasra means 1,000, right? So hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis. When it says Lakshmi, it's referring to the gopis. So let's look at the translation now. Within dwellings made of Chintamani gems, surrounded by millions of wish-fulfilling trees. Chintamani gems, which are surrounded by millions of wish-fulfilling trees, I guess. Shri Govinda tends to all the needs of the wish-fulfilling cows and is affectionately served by thousands upon thousands of Lakshmis, or gopis, in other words, gopis. I worship that original supreme personality. Tam aham bhajami. Tam means he, that, or he. Aham bhajami. I worship the Adi Purush, the original Purush, supreme person, Govinda. I worship that original supreme personality, Shri Govinda. Okay, so now let's recite this verse now that we've gone over the meaning of the words. আমি একটু পরে প্রসাদ পাবো হ্যাঁ okay. So Chintamani prakara sarmasu kalpa vriksha lakshavriteshu surabhir abhipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra shata sambramya sevyamanam Govindamari purusham tamaham bhajami. So yeah, just after explaining that, I'm understanding it better already. So, um, Chintamani Prakara. Oh wait, did I explain what Prakara means? Prakara, here it says a Rashi. Um, it's, let's see, Prakara. I think I skipped that. Samudai. Samudai. Let's see what that Samudai means. Samuha. Okay. Collection, multitude, group. Huh. Okay. So it's just making it plural within multitudes of dwellings made of Chintamani or something like that. Or maybe it's made of multitudes of Chintamani gems. Maybe. Maybe this prakara goes with Chintamani. Then it'd be like, with countless Chintamani gems. I don't know. This is just a guess. I will, whenever I put something in these, in within these, I don't know what you call them, these arrows, that means I don't know if it should be there or not. Okay. Been getting all these WhatsApp messages. I wonder if there's devotee who's, no. Okay, it's, okay, never mind. Okay, let's go on to the next verse. Okay. They're all taking prasad now. What time is it? It's 8:22. Oh my God, it took way too long to go through that first verse. Okay. So now let's recite it and then we'll go over the meaning of all the words. Venum quanvan, sorry, quanantam, okay. Venum quanantam aravinda dalayataksham bharhavatang sam asitam buddha sundarangam Kandarpakoti kamaniya vishesha shobham Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Okay, so Swanantam means playing, I think. Vangsi Vadane. So he's playing his Vangsi. Nirata in the Bengali, Nirata, let's Nirata means devoted, deeply engaged. He's engrossed. He's absorbed in playing upon his flute. I don't see the word absorbed in the Sanskrit. It just says he plays upon his flute, but it's implied, right? He's absorbed in playing upon his flute. His eyes are elongated, are large and long, like the petals of a lotus. So Aravinda means lotus. Dala it means the petal, and ayata. Ayata means um, ayata can mean like blooming, but it also can mean very long. And aksham means eyes. So his eyes are very long and like the petal, like the dala of an aravinda of a lotus. So he plays the flute. His eyes are his aksham, his aksham are ayata, are long, like the dala, like the petal of an aravinda of a lotus. So his eyes are elongated like the petals of a lotus. Now, barha means peacock feather. Avatangsam means like ornaments, right? I think so. Should I look at it? Should we look up the word avatangsa? I think it means ornament. So peacock feather ornament. He wears a peacock feather ornament. Let's look at the dictionary. Oops, let's make it as short. A avatangsa. Let's see. What is it? What comes up for avatangsa? Dang it. I typed it. I spelt it wrong, I think. Is it a long A? No. Anyhow, I remember seeing this word once before. Let's see how it's translated here. It says Shirobhushan. Okay, maybe avatangsa refers specifically to a head ornament, like a headdress is how it was in the book. Let's see. In the Hindi translation, what does it say? It says Mor Mukut Dharan. So maybe avatangsa is a decoration for the head. Hindi says Mor Mukut, so like a crown with peacock feather crown. Um, anyhow, I think this is good then. So his headdress is adorned with peacock feathers, with a barha, peacock feather. And then asita. Sita means white, doesn't it? I think so. And then asita, not white, dark, dark. And ambuda means a cloud. Like ambu means water, right? And da means giving. So a rain giving, like a water giving cloud, rain cloud, in other words. So an asita ambuda, a darkish rain cloud. Sundar, beautiful angam, limbs. So his limbs, his anga, are like a beautiful darkish asita rain cloud, ambuda. Asitambuda sundarangam. And let's see, we translated it here. His charming form has his charming, right? Sundar means charming or beautiful. Form, anga, his body, his form. has the luster. Okay, it doesn't say luster explicitly in the Sanskrit, I don't think, but anyways, it's implied. Has the luster of a dark blue rain cloud. Asita Ambuda. Now, the third line. So in the Bengali translation and Hindi translation, there's a difference between them both. Like, Kandarpa means Cupid, Koti means million, Kamaniya. Kamaniya means longed for, it's desired. And it also means, and then Vishesh means special or unique. Shobha. Shobha is beauty. So his Vishesha Shobha, his unique beauty, is Kamaniya, is desired, is longed for by Koti, by millions of Kandarpa, of Cupids. Okay, so his beauty, his unique beauty, Vishesh Shobham, is Kamaniya, is desired by Koti, millions of Kandarpas, Cupids. That's how the Bengali translation translated Kamaniya, longed for. But you could also, the Hindi translation says, what does it say? Jinka Shri Vigraha Shama Megh ke Saman. Oh, sorry, no, wait. जिनकी शोभा करोड़ों कामदेवों की अपेक्षा भी विशेष मनोहर है. So it's even more charming, manohar, vishesh manohar, even more charming, even more like as even a greater charm, like vishesh, than um millions of Kamdevs. So in the Hindi, it's like a comparison, and in the Bengali, like here's the difference. His unique beauty is longed. The Bengali says his unique body is longed for by millions of cupids, and the Hindi translation says his unique beauty is more charming than millions of cupids. So I don't know which one it should be, but yeah, those are the two options there. All right, so let's recite this. I think it's the Bengali one. That one, at least it's easier for me to understand. It makes more sense to me, but let's see. Okay, let's recite this one more time. Venung kwanantam aravinda dalaya taksham barhavatang sam asitam buddha sundarangam Kandarpakoti kamaniya vishesha shobham Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. All right. So hopefully all these words are now clear. You just don't need to figure out the kamaniya thing if it means longed for or desired. I think it does. Okay, now the next verse. Okay, this one I haven't figured out at all. I actually haven't. Yeah. These first two I worked on the translation. This next one I haven't really worked on it very well. I just started looking at it. Okay. I really don't know what this means. Okay, so alola means swinging. And chandraka in the BBT translation, Chandraka is translated as a moon locket. Chandraka, moon locket. But in the Hindi and Bengali translations, in two different Hindi translations and one Bengali translation, this word Chandraka is explained as the Bengali says, Mayur Puchastha Golakar Chinha. So the chinha, the marking of in a round shape within a peacock feather, situated in a peacock feather. So in a peacock feather, in the middle of a peacock feather, there's like that dark blue thing, and it's shaped like a moon almost. It's like it's circular, like a crescent moon kind of. So I think that's what's being referred to as a chandraka. And that's why it's referring like the peacock feather is, what has a half like a moon shaped thing inside of it. Um, I kind of like the moon locket. That sounds kind of cool, but according to all these translations, it's a peacock feather, which has yeah, that middle part in it. Okay, so the Bengali translation says that on Krishna is a um a swinging peacock feather, and lasat. Lasat means um lasat kundalam gokule prajamanam. Um, Lasat can mean splendorous. Let's look up the word lasat, actually. Let's just look it up. Lasat. Beautiful. I don't know. uh, Beautified. Oh, that's how it is in Brahma-saṁhitā there. Beautified. Interesting. Effulgently glowing, glittering, glittering. Lasat is hanging, shining, resplendent. Huh. Interesting. Splendid. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. Here it just says decorated, 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 decorated. A bunch of times it's translated as decorated in Srila Prabhupada's books. All right. So let's see, how is it in the Bengali Bengali says shobita. So shobita means adorned, decorated, beautified. In the Hindi translation, it means what does it say? Viraj. No, no. It says galame bana. Okay. Anyways, so what is lasat? What is hanging, or what is adorning him? A vana malya. A malya means garland of a forest flower garland. Vana means forest. So vana malya, forest garland. And vankshi. So he's decorated by a forest garland, and he's decorated with a vankshi. He's adorned with a vankshi. And because you see there's a hyphen. Whenever things are connected with a hyphen, they all go together. And ratnangadam. So angad is like a arm ornament, an armlet, I guess. And ratna means jeweled. So a jeweled armlet. So just from like, it sounds like what it's saying is he's adorned with a swinging peacock feather. I don't fully understand what that means, like a swinging peacock feather. Um, then, and a vanamalya, a forest garland, forest flower garland, and a vangshi, his flute, and jeweled armlets. And then pranaya keli kala vilasam. Uh, okay, I don't understand this part. Let's see what it's Bengali say. Let's just read the first part. Dolayaman Chandraka, Shobita Vanamalya, Vankshi, O Ratna Kachita Angada. So jeweled inlaid angad, Bahu Bhushan. That means like arm ornaments. Dwara Vibhushita. Yeah, so he's adorned with all these things, what I just mentioned. All these. And now Pranaya Keli Kala Vilasam. What is it? It says Pranay Purvak Keli Kala Rup Vilas Vishishta. Okay, so Vishishta means like he has or he possesses. Vilas means pastimes. Keli kala rup. Kala means like arts, right? Or skill. And keli is like amorous, playful, pranay purvak, loving. Huh. Interesting. Let's see what the Hindi translation says. जिनका विलास स्नेह भरे परिहास की कला से युक्त है. So whose pastimes are are filled with loving parihas is like 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 humorous, or like what is it, laughing, filled with loving banter or laughter. Kalase. um kala is like, oh god, an art, a skill, or accomplishment, trick. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, before the English translation said, I haven't translated this yet, but it says he's always madly absorbed in intimate, loving pastimes. It's not really directly what the Hindi and Bengali says. Pranaya Keli Kalavilasam. They're like more like his pastimes are filled with loving, amorous arts. Or I guess, I don't know. I have to see how to translate kala. Okay, now next is Shamam Tribhanga Lalitam Niyata Prakasham. Let's see. Niyata Prakasham. Niyata Prakasham means, uh, let's see. Nitya Prakash. So eternally manifest. What is eternally manifest? His Tribhanga Lalita, his graceful threefold bending form, which is Shamam, which is darkish, dark Sham complexioned. So Sham is darkish, threefold, Tribhanga, graceful, Lalitam, graceful form is Niyata, eternally or always, Prakasham, manifest. Okay, so I haven't made a translation for this yet. So we'll have to figure that out later. Um, yeah, because see, the Sanskrit doesn't say his lotus hands hold, doesn't say that. Doesn't, and that's interesting. It says around his neck a garland of forest flowers and peacock feathers swings gently. So it puts Chandraka along with the I don't know. Um, Actually, the BVT translation, we used to sing this. I remember singing this in Gurukul. It'd say, "I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck swings a flower gar." No, as it round whose neck swings a garland, beautified with the moon locket, whose hands are adorned with the flute and jeweled ornaments, and who always revels in pastimes of love. His graceful form is eternally manifest. Yeah, I remember singing that. Cool. Okay. So, next verse 4. Sorry, guys. This is, as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm not explaining this really. I'm trying to learn it myself. I'm trying to figure out. This is all about figuring out what the words mean. It's not about me explaining what the words mean. Okay. So, Angani. Angani means on his limbs or in his limbs or of his limbs. No, anyways, no. It just means his limbs, plural. Yasya means whose. So whose limbs? Sakala means all. Indriya means senses. Vritti means the functions. So the functions of all his senses, sakalendriya, all his senses, the functions of all his senses whose limbs. So, in other words, all of Krishna's limbs performs the functions, the vritti, of all the senses. In other words, Krishna can eat with his eyes. He can see with his tongue. He can, like, all his senses, all his limbs performs the functions of all the senses. He can taste with his touch, um, like that. So that's pretty cool, huh? So angani yasya sakalendriya vritti manti, whose limbs performs the functions, the vritti, the functions of all the senses. Sakalendriya. And then pashyanti, it says jaganti. Jaganti means all the universes, all the planets, right? All the, yeah, universes. Chiram means eternally, right? I think so. I think it means eternally. Um, eternally. So pashyanti, he sees. Panti means uh wait, let's just look at the chirakal. Yeah, chirakal means pretty much forever. Jaganti means Brahmanda Samuha. And then Pashyanti means darshan kartehe. He sees. Panti means palan kartehe. He maintains. And Kalayanti means niyaman kartehe. What would he say? He regulates. Niyaman means restraining, subduing, governing, controlling. Governing, controls. I think in the English translation, or did it say regulates? I think regulates is good. So he sees, he maintains. Pashyanti, he sees. Panti, he maintains. Kalayanti, he regulates all the Brahmandas, all the universes. And in the English translation, it says both spiritual and mundane. So it doesn't say that in the Sanskrit, but it should be understood. All the universes, spiritual, and all the planets, spiritual and mundane. And then Ananda Chinmaya Sarujvala Vigrahasya. Vigrahasya. So whose Vigraha is Ananda. It is blissful. It is Chinmaya, is completely transcendental. It is Sat. God. Sat is like could be translated in so many ways. I don't really know. Anyways, and then Ujjwala, it is effulgent. Or maybe it's Sad Ujjwala goes together. Let's see what the Bengali says. Where is it? Oh, it's at the beginning in the Bengali. It says Anandamoy, it is blissful. His form is blissful. His form is Chinmoy, is transcendental. And it says Paramojwala. It is supremely radiant, supremely effulgent. Ujjwal. Ujjwal is also like bright, effulgent, brilliant. Vigrahasya, his form. So I guess Sad could also mean supremely, according to this Bengali translation. Let's see what the Hindi says. Oh, it says for Ananda here, it says Satchid Ananda. So Ananda represents Satchid Ananda, according to this Hindi translation. And it says Sada Ujjwala. It is always effulgent. That's interesting. Eternally effulgent. Just like when we say Satchidananda, we say eternality, knowledge and bliss, right? So eternally, right? I think so. Anyways. Okay. So that's all pretty clear now, right? His form is Ananda, it is blissful, or it is composed of Satchidananda. It is Chinmoy, it is completely transcendental. It is Sar Ujjwala, which can mean supremely effulgent, or always effulgent, eternally effulgent. Vigraha, form. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Okay, let's recite this. Angani yasya sakalendriya mante pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti ananda chinmaya sarojvala vigrahasya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Okay, now let's do verse 5. Hey, I'm all alone again. Maybe I should just stop. Oh, I just noticed some comments. Jai Govinda says the Bengali one sounds nicer, but he left. Everybody left. Josh Sharmaji says Hare Krishna Prabhuji, but then he left. So I don't know if anybody will ever see this, what I'm saying right now. This is probably really frustrating, like me figuring it out all in real time. It's helpful for me, but right now I'm just talking to myself. There's nobody listening. I could imagine how this is frustrating to watch. Anyhow, okay. I'm just gonna finish with number 5 because I said I would. Advaitam Achutam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhakto Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So he is Advaita. He is non-dual. Advaita, non-dual. He is Achutam. He is infallible. He is Anadim. He is beginningless. And Anantarupam. He has Ananta, like unlimited. There's no ends. Ananta means no ends, unlimited forms. There's no end to his forms. He has unlimited forms. Adyam. Where's Adyam? It's not in the English translation there. Because Purana Purusha means the oldest of all. So let's see. It's missing. In the Bengali, it says Sarvadi. So he's the beginning of all. So it says Anadi, he's without beginning, and Sarvadi, he's the beginning of all. Let's see what the Hindi says. Whoa, Hindi has like a whole full-on explanation. Oh, there. Adyam. Sabke Adi. Yeah, so same thing as the Bengali. So he's the beginning of all. Beginning of everything. Unlimited forms. Although he is not the beginning of everything or of all. Oops. I don't know. And the oldest of all. Nevertheless, so although he is non-dual, infallible, beginningless, possessed of unlimited forms, and the beginning of everything, and the oldest of all, nevertheless, he is Nava Yovanamcha. He has a new, Nava means new, fresh. Yovanam means youth. He is a fresh youth. Vedeshu means within the Vedas, Durlabam. He is Durlab, like rarely achieved, or it can also just mean not attainable, like, incomprehensible, it says here. He's incomprehensible through the Vedas. And adurlabam. But, so he is extremely difficult to attain through studying the Vedas. But he's adurlabam. The opposite of durlabam. He is very easily attained. Adurlabam, easily attained. Atma bhakto, through bhakti, through devotion, through bhakti of the soul, atma. Atma bhakto. In other words, what is bhakti? What is the bhakti of the soul? Is prem, right? So he's attained by prem, easily attained by prem. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the original personality, the Adi Purush, Govindam. All right. So I'm talking to myself right now. There's nobody here, but hopefully, maybe somebody in the future will get something out of this. I don't know. I definitely did, though. It was helpful for me. Um, Now I'm a lot more clear on the meaning of all these words than I was before I started. And now I'm ready to make work out a translation for these. So, all right, I guess I'll just end it here. Haribol. Jai Shri Radhe.